Hey guys, Richard Phu here from The Ultimate Man and richardphu.com, the place to be for authenticity, love, and truth. And I just want to do something really silly. This is some of the pillows here we have at my parents' house. This is the other side of the living room, the other couch. An amazing painting here at the back. And today, I wanted to share a quick message about, you know, something so funny sometimes. I was chatting with my good mate while we're working out, and he said something interesting to me because, you know, within the line of work that I'm in, if you're a coach, you probably understand this as well. If you're an advisor, consultant, whatever you are, it's interesting because every time you're in that kind of space, when you're giving advice, when you're helping someone or helping a business exceed at something, it's kind of an expectation that you follow your own advice. And I was having another chat with my good mate, right, Andy Gordon, on the phone today, and we were talking about that, and he's like, man, sometimes you just gotta make that tough decision when you don't want to be making that tough decision, but you just know you have to because of, you know, you gotta walk your talk basically. And this is all about integrity and all about walking the talk. Because, you know, it's easy here for me to say, you know, I'm all about love and all these other things. But then imagine, you know, me being single right now, I'm gonna just go out and just go, you know, be a badass player, right? Could you see that? I don't really see that here, right? I don't even know what I'm trying to do. Just being ridiculous here. And so, you know, I was thinking about that and how that we have to, you know, in any part of our life, actually, even if you're a coach, even if you're a consultant, even if you're not in any of these fields, but how often do we have to be living with integrity, right? How often is it that you have to just follow through with what you feel is right, even if it's going to be hurting other people, even if it's going to be making other people upset, even if it's going to be saying things like, if someone tells you they love you and you actually don't feel the love, you don't feel it there, then it's not fair for you to say, I love you too, is it? Right? Things like that. How difficult is it to be like that? Because the last thing I want to do is be a hypocrite. And honestly, sometimes I am a hypocrite. Right? Sometimes I am a hypocrite. It's kind of like I want to help people, but then at the same time, I'm like, screw it, you have to do it yourself, right? And that's because they're not ready. But that's a whole different story. And this whole idea here about living in integrity and following with what's right, sometimes it's the hardest thing in the world. Sometimes I wish, and sometimes I sit back and I'm like, oh man, if only I was not a coach and I could just do this stuff, like, I don't know, not have to follow what I say all the time, right? Then what would that be like? What would my life be like? For a second I think about it, I'm like, oh man, then I wouldn't have to care about, then people wouldn't know what I did, people wouldn't judge me as much if I did it wrong and all these other things. And then I snap back and I'm like, actually, it's not really that interesting, right? It's not really that interesting. I'll just be prolonging my own bull crap and prolonging my own issues. But I just want to share that video with you to let you know that sometimes I even feel like that, right? Not always, I feel like that too. I feel like sometimes, if only I was not a coach, then I could just do whatever, you know, I didn't have to be real all the time, you know, that, you know, I can just sometimes put it on. If I just put it on, if I just did something that was, you know, I don't know, I don't even know what's popping in my head, like staying in a relationship that I think is the right thing to do, but it's not the right, staying in a relationship even though I don't think it's the right thing to do, but just because it's easier, right? Just because it's easier. And if I'm the guy who's going to tell people that, I don't tell people, but if I'm the guy that's going to help people realize that if they're not happy, they should go do something about it, I got to do that for myself too. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't want to do it because it's so, in my head I say it's so hard. It's so hard, or it's so scary, or, you know, just making decisions based off fear. And what do I mean by decisions based off fear? I'm talking about things like, you know, say, yeah, maybe you're staying in a job that you hate, you don't love it, but you stay in it because it's safe, because you're scared of the uncertainty. That's what I was doing. Maybe you stay in a relationship for too long because you're afraid of, you know, having to go out there and do it again and go dating and the whole shabam or whatever it is that scares you. I feel like that too. But you know, one of the reasons why it drives me so much to be more of me is because of you guys. Because the people that are watching this, the people that know that to be in integrity, it has to be about, you know, being okay to show random weird stuff that isn't manly enough. Get out of here! Manly enough to share normally, but it's also to make the hard decisions. To make the hard decisions so that it's not just for my sake, but because I know a lot of other people look up to me. And this is the thing is, you know, you're a role model, whether you believe it or not, whether you want to be or not, you are a role model, and you know, people won't tell you about it. Kids will look up to you without telling you about it. And you're always on the stand and you're always on the clock. So if you're not living with your integrity there, then people will see that. People will see that, and you know, it just means that they give you less stuff to hold on to. They give you less responsibility to hold on to. They give you less, you know, money that you can handle. They give you less love than you can handle. They give you less vulnerability because they know that if they speak up to you and open themselves up, maybe you go off and you gossip about it. Right? But if you're living with integrity, then more will come into your life. You know, yes, it's hard. Of course it's hard. It's gotta be hard. It's gotta be hard because it's just like anything else. You know, you have to risk to get rewards. So it's hard because the rewards are so much better, so much more greater when you're living with integrity, where you're just who you are all the time, and it just doesn't matter anymore. That's what I want to share here with you today, guys. Because whether you're a coach, consultant, you know, teacher, advisor, accountant, IT guy, you know, web developer, whatever, there's always an opportunity that you can live with integrity, right? We always choose whether we're going to be following what we think is right or whether we think we're going to follow what we think is fearful. And integrity is where you don't live. It's not about not listening and following through what you believe in, but it's about choosing to follow fear rather than your truth. That's what integrity is all about. That's what I want to share here with you today, guys. And of course, if you want to learn more, head on over to richardphu.com, because that's the place to be for authenticity, love, and courage. And integrity takes all of that. So I hope I see you over there. Of course, we got a web class coming up. I hope you register for that. And otherwise, hey, hit me up. We have a chat, right? If you really want to learn how to do more work so that you can live with integrity, then head on over there. Otherwise, go out there, go live with love, and go smash it. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye. And one of my awesome coaches, he said this. He said, the opposite of success is not failure. Opposite of success is to do nothing. Is to do nothing at all. Failure is on the path of success. And that's really important to understand.